Hey, the door closes. Welcome to Sean's GMC garage. In this video, we're going to do a little wiring, a little hinge work. But yeah, we got the door finally able to shut. It's still not perfect. I think like it does a little bit. I've got a couple other little things I want to try. And then you'll also notice I got my Amazon order in, and I got quite a mess of wires here that we still got to wire up the switches and that, but I got it ran through the kick plate and into the door. So that's in this video. So enjoy. It wasn't too bad, but lessons were learned. Thanks for watching. Okay, we're back. No wires. When I was headed, or I almost went to Princess Auto, but I thought I better check the hours, and it was a half an hour till closing. So I abandoned that. I looked up the pricing on Canadian Tire, and then I looked up pricing on Amazon, and I got a 6-pack of 14 gauge wire, 25 foot per roll for $60. That would have came out to $90 at Princess Auto and $150 from Canadian Tire. So we're waiting on that order. Should be in later today. In the meantime, I can play around with the pins on the door, and then there's another little thing I discovered on the door yesterday. Well, it was also when I was fooling around with it the first day. If we get you in here and get you down here, let's take a look at this. Okay, so these bolts here, they were loose and flopping around when I was playing with the window up and down. So I tightened them thinking that that's all I had to do. But then I noticed when I was playing around with the wires, underneath the wiring harness, there were supposed to be 2 bolts here, and they are not there. And there is quite the channel that they have worn out there. So if this was dug, I would go through the pain of cutting it out and welding it. But I think for this, for now anyways, I'm just going to put some big washers and try to sandwich it in so it doesn't move anymore. We'll just see how that goes temporarily. The other side is perfect. Kind of why I noticed this, because I noticed the 4 bolts there and I go, oh, I don't remember 4 bolts over here. So we got to get, ouch. We got to get, there's a bolt in there, inside there. We got to get that out. That one doesn't have a bolt, so we got to find out what thread that is and find another bolt for that. So that's what we're going to play around with while we are waiting for wires.
The shop light hums like a prairie moon, cold steel breathing in the afternoon. Got that door hanging tired and low, like it's carried too much down a gravel road. Hands worn thin from the years and the miles, sagging on the hinge with a stubborn smile. So I set my tools and I take my time, trying to make old metal feel brand new fine. Oh, I'm working on an old GMC, one bolt at a time. sets me free. Run a wire, set a pin, let the night roll on, and I'll know I'm getting somewhere when the door swings right. Yeah, I'll know I'm getting somewhere when the door swings right. I lay the parts out neat in a tray, 'cause the smallest thing can walk away. A washer here, a clip goes there, and suddenly you're searching every way. Tap, tap, drift, and a steady hand. Old Hinge pin fights like it understands, but it finally gives with a soft alright, like it knew I wouldn't quit tonight. Oh, I'm working on an old GMC, one bolt at a time till it sets me free. Run a wire, set a pin, let the night roll on, and I'll know I'm getting somewhere when the door swings right. Yeah, I'll know I'm getting somewhere when the door swings right. Then I chase those wires from the dash on through, following the path like you always do, threading them gentle where the hinges bend, trying not to nick them for the day can end. Through the jam where the weather lives, where every winter takes and gives, I give them slack for the opening shut, so they won't pull tight when the road gets rough. Oh, I'm working on an old GMC.
Okay, let's give you a little update here. Got the pins in the door hinges, but discovered there's supposed to be a spring in here that will keep the door open, and then tink tink, and then it'll be closed. This side doesn't have it, the other side has it. And I thought, hey, why don't I go get it off Doug? Doug didn't have either as well. So, I'm not going to worry about it right now, because it involves taking this hinge off of here, off the truck and everything. So I think I'm just going to live with it for now. They don't sell that on Amazon. They don't sell it on Rock Auto. I found CJ Pony Parts sells it, like $15 for the two of them. So there's a couple things I am thinking of buying from there anyways, so it will be on the order when I do it at some point in time, and like both for $15. So I'm guessing that's American. They have the the door handles, or the pull handles for the doors, so I could replace those. They're fairly cheap. That's another thing I'm going to order from them. They also the inserts, or these. The inserts for the door panel, like this was where the pull handle goes. Oh, sorry, this side here. The covering's all off of that. I was thinking about ripping that apart and painting it, but again, I think they're fairly cheap from that CJ Pony, so I'm probably just going to order replacements. Again, I don't know how much to invest in this before I get back to Doug, but a couple things like this, if they're inexpensive and they'll add to it, I'll put lipstick on that pig. Okay, so now we wait for wires. Shop cleanup time, I think, until they get here.
One bolt at a time till it sets me free. Gun a wire, set a pin, let the night roll on, and I know I'm getting somewhere when the door swings right. Yeah, I know I'm getting somewhere when the door swings right. Spinning the window motors, talking loose, rattling like a can on a mountain route. I lean in close and I start to see two boats missing where they ought to be. Funny how the simplest thing can be the biggest reason it won't agree. So I line it up and I thread them in, and the whole door settles down a din. Oh, I'm working on an old GMC, one bolt at a time till it sets me free. Run a wire, set a pin, let the might roll on, and I'll know I'm getting somewhere when the door swings right. Yeah, I know I'm getting somewhere when the door swings right. So I'm working on an old GMC with an honest heart and a midnight key, and the road's out there, but I'm still here tonight. And I know I'm getting somewhere when the door swings right. The shop light hums like a prairie moon, cold steel breathing in the afternoon. The shop light hums like a prairie moon. The shop light hums. The shop light hums like a prairie moon. The shop light hums like a prairie moon. The shop light hums like a prairie moon.
Yeah. Friday night in the garage, baby. Let's do it. Come on. Yeah, the door goes click like come on. Doors back on. Doors back on. Knuckles in the cold, little tap, tap, tap. Old pen acting tough like it ain't gonna clap. But I've been around rust and I don't take it personal. I just keep at it steady like a Sunday rehearsal. Got From the dash to the door, make a brand